welcome back to another episode of Siren Stories, the podcast, where we are talking about WandaVision episode six. I'm JJ Barnes and he's Jonathan McKinney.
He is.
And yeah, you are joining us for episode 6 of WandaVision when we do a breakdown of the
Rundown.
We will run down of the episode. We talk about everything that happens in the episode of WandaVision that has come out today. We are recording it on the day it comes out, releasing it the day after. So we cover, I say we talk about everything that happens in the plot. We do not.
We cover quite a lot. I mean, we talk for longer than the episode.
Yeah, we do. And we do talk about a lot, but I feel like every time I've watched it through again, because obviously we've watched...
Oh, God, yeah.
We've watched the episodes again that we talked about and recorded.
Do you know what we should do?
What?
When WandaVision is finished, because there's a week in between WandaVision and
Falcon
Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
We should do a podcast. I know that I'm eliminating our one Friday off.
That's all right.
But
I like doing this.
I like doing this too. We should spend the next Friday talking about
everything we got right and wrong.
Yeah, and just addressing the whole thing. And
that's a good idea.
Any last bits of commenting, because
we've missed, like, the thing is, as I say, when we watch it again, because Podlovians, we watch it separately on a Friday. I watch it in one room and he watches it in another, and then we don't talk about it until we do this podcast. But then after we've recorded the podcast, because our children love it, particularly the 8-year-old, she's obsessed. So we watch it again with them, and every time we do it, I'm like, why didn't we mention this? Why didn't we mention that? Because there's so much you can mention in every single episode. Like, I feel like to do it justice, we should be doing, like, literally a beat by beat recap. Like, this person says this person says this person goes here, this person goes here. And, like, we don't do that because we've done that before. We've done scene by scene breakdowns of shows before, and
it gets a little bit long.
It's so long, and you don't miss things. You cover all the things that deserve covering, but it goes on forever. So we do more of a sort of summary, but you miss so much.
Yes, that is correct.
But because even if you cover so much, and as you say, we talk for so much longer than the show, and we obsess over little things, and we talk. I feel like we cover, like, but it's huge.
For example, the director Hayward, right?
Yeah.
Last week in the episode where Wanda busts out of the Maximoff anomaly, or the hex.
The hex,
right?
Definitely the hex.
And has her confrontation with him. When we talked about the Magneto style, I mean, even then we didn't cover the entire Magneto thing, because I'd said, Podlovian friends, that what she does is reminiscent of something that Ian McKellen's Magneto does in the first X-Men film. Because it is. But I didn't realise that the gesture as she's turning around and waving her arm is identical to something Fassbender does as Magneto as well. And
like, there is so much.
There is a lot. But also, so the director, Hayward, he and his organisation SWORD are clearly, or were clearly, working on turning Vision's corpse into a sentient weapon, which is why the first two initials in the SWORD acronym in this universe are sentient weapon or weapons. And Wanda probably is kidnapping or retrieving Vision's corpse to honor his living will. And the thing that they said in the episode last week is that she was going against his living will by doing this, by bringing him back to life, because he didn't want to be anybody's weapon.
Yeah.
But she's doing it probably, or at least if that video...
She hasn't made him a weapon.
No, and if that... And she said, like, it's so much worse out there.
And she said, and, like, it's... Darcy is, like, she's got him playing dad.
Yeah.
She hasn't got him being a weapon. If anything happens, she is the one who deals with it. She doesn't get Vision ever. She prevents Vision from dealing with things.
Yeah, she's honoring. If we're right, and it isn't completely textual, but I think it's almost completely
hinted
textual.
At sort of solidly.
That sword we're using Vision's body to create a living weapon which contravened Vision's living will, which is what, again, the director Hayward said Wanda had done.
Yeah.
Because he's just a projecting scuzz.
I mean, we know he's an asshole.
Yeah, clearly.
We know he's an asshole. He treats Darcy terribly. He's vile to Monica. Like, he's a bit of a cunt. I mean, I'd say cunt.
You can say cunt.
All right, he's a bit of a cunt.
We're English, so if you think that's really shocking and you're from America, then
American
we apologise.
Podlovians, honestly, American Podlovians, we're very sorry. English people have potty mouths.
Yes, but also the C-bomb isn't as gendered here as it is in America.
It's not.
Like, I think it's used against women in America, whereas it's usually used against men here.
It's used by everyone here.
Used against everyone who's being a cunt.
Oh my god. Please don't delete our podcast. Please love us. We are desperate and crave attention and love.
No, we don't. But the point is...
Anyway, Hayward is a cunt. And it's obvious. And he is horrible because he treats Monica badly. He treats Darcy badly. And... yeah, he sends the drone. I know we're on the previous episode, but he sends the drone in with the guns and tries to.
Yes, so he's trying to kill Monica. He's trying to kill
Wanda
because
he wants to get Vision.
Well, he wants to get Vision back, but also Wanda knows. If we're correct, Wanda knows that he was using Vision's body to try and do some kind of space weapon, blah blah blah, and. If he kills Wanda, then he can just draw a nice line underneath it and say Wanda was the bad guy, which is his whole thing. Wanda's the bad guy, and then get Vision back.
And Monica all the time is saying
she's figuring it out all the time.
Yeah. Speaking of Wanda, I read a really interesting thing that Elizabeth Olsen had said about Wanda.
Okay.
And it really just lays home what we've talked about with the character. And she said, like, she really relates to her deep wells of pain.
Right, yeah.
And, like, she really understands it. And I was like, you can see in her performance that there's moments where there's no dialogue, there's no real action. It's reaction, to Joey. Like, most of acting is reacting. But do you know what I mean? Like, her reactions, her body movements, her facial expressions. She's just showing the pain that woman is in. And you can see that the actor, she understands what is that.
Yeah.
She understands. Elizabeth Olsen understands what Wanda Maximoff is going through, and she is able to put it into every ounce of her being. She performs it, and in this episode, like, I know we haven't really started on this episode yet, but like, there's moments in this episode where Wanda just looks like she's hurting so badly. Yeah. We should start really, like, right.
So I want to quickly get one question in,
okay,
which is an extension of what you were just saying. So people are saying that Elizabeth Olsen will win an Emmy for her performance in WandaVision. Right?
She should, but I don't think they give Emmys to...
They don't give Emmys to actors in shows with superhero costumes.
Genre things don't do well.
No, and so that was the question, really. Is like, do you think that she's performing at such a level that she'll break that barrier down?
If she does, and I don't know if she will, because
it's not up to us.
No,
we would say yes, she's great.
But then,
I don't watch all the TV, so I
don't
know.
watch all the TV, and also I tend to just love what I love.
Yeah.
And even if it's dumb, like in my YouTubes, I had a thing about like, what's a really dumb thing that you love, and I'm like, The Meg, right?
Yeah.
The Meg. I love it. So if it was up to me, I would be laying awards on The Meg.
Oh god.
Because it's so brilliantly
Right.
terrible,
Okay.
but brilliant, and I had a great time with it. Like, I absolutely adore it, right? So I am not necessarily the best judge because of my love for real goofy shit, right? But accepting my own flaws, that I love really goofy I love really goofy terrible things like the Megalodon.
Megalodon.
Right?
There's 2 Megalodons. Where are you from, Jason Statham? What
Right?
land did you originate in? Because your voice makes no sense.
Accepting that about me is that I do love genuinely terrible genre stuff. Also, if I take that aside and remember that I also love genuinely excellent story, like The West Wing.
Yeah.
Genuinely excellent story, right? I would say that Elizabeth Olsen absolutely deserves. She does. She deserves so, like, oh my gosh, she if she doesn't have, like, I know she was a movie star before this, like, obviously, because she was in the movies where she was Scarlet Witch, and she'd done other movies and TV, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like she's not been an Oscar-winning.
Okay, so in Age of Ultron and in Civil War and Infinity War, she is very competent and does everything that is required of her. She's very compelling. But
yeah, I mean, I completely fell in love with her character
You did.
because of Age of Ultron. It was that movie that I was like, she is. Before that, I was like, I love Black Widow.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm in love with Hawkeye, but for a different reason.
Sure.
Just because I think he's fine. But Black Widow was, yeah. But Age of Ultron, I completely fell in love with Scarlet Witch. But I feel like until now, she hasn't necessarily, and I haven't seen everything she's done, so this could be completely unreasonable.
Yeah.
But I feel like until now, she hasn't been given the opportunity to be in a role that would give her the chance to win things. And if she doesn't have the most stellar career after this, like, she should.
You mentioned The West Wing. I think that Bradley Whitford wins an Emmy for his performance in the episode where what's the cellist? Yo-Yo Ma.
Yo-Yo Ma.
Yo-Yo Ma's playing the cello, and he's having a flashback to when he was shot.
Yes.
And he's got a therapist. He won an Emmy for that performance, I believe. I think that Richard Schiff won for the episode where he gave a coat.
The coat to the homeless man who died, and then they found his card, and he arranged the funeral.
Yeah, and then Aaron Sorkin was at this point becoming so familiar with his actors winning Emmys that he started writing the Emmy show for different actors if they hadn't won one.
I'm guessing, and I don't know, but when the bodyguard boyfriend gets shot.
That was not CJ's, I don't think.
Was it not?
I don't. I will find out, and we will
come back. Because if that wasn't CJ's,
because Alison.
I was gonna say Hannigan, because we were just talking about weed.
Podlovians.
Alison Janney.
Not surprisingly, we've had conversations about Joss Whedon this last couple of days. Alison Janney. Yeah, Alison Janney.
I would have thought that was hers, because...
Well, is it though? Because that's actually more... Like, she's very sad when she finds out, but she's not... There's a song playing... It's a reaction rather than a performance.
You are right. You are right. We're on a different show. We should really get back to WandaVision.
We should get back to WandaVision. The good Podlovians, they don't give a fuck about the West Wing. And who can blame you, good Podlovians? You want to know about Evan Peters, who is like uncle to two Malcolms in the middle.
We need to start at the beginning. Okay. Right? Talking about mushrooms in the middle.
mushrooms in the middle.
Right? That opening credit sequence, right, is a homage.
An homage, yeah.
Homage to Malcolm in the Middle, the ultimate 90s kid-based sitcom.
Yes.
Did you love Malcolm in the Middle?
I did
or
not.
Or were you too old?
I was probably a couple of years too old.
Oh my god, I was not too old.
So this is more to your taste than mine.
Like, honestly.
Honestly, right? I thought that the humour in the first 5 or 10 minutes of this episode was the funniest that it's been since this started. Like, my wife and the flying saucers and my husband and his unbreakable head was fine.
But then
the humour in this is fucking amazing. Like,
right?
It was Billy's fault. He's like, I'm Tommy. He's like, and don't you forget it.
Yeah, I know, honestly though, right? The way the kids like swap talking to the camera.
Your costume is so rad, lame. No,
it's like, yeah, but Uncle P, like
Uncle P.
He's cool, like, but honestly, it was so Malcolm in the Middle. The whole 90s setup with
so
the
does
kids.
Malcolm talk to the?
Yeah.
Right,
Frankie Muniz is like.
Did you notice that Pietro? That is to say, Evan Pietro. We'll call
Evan
him.
Pietro.
Evan
Yeah.
Pietro.
Evan Pietro.
He notices and looks a bit like confused by it. And,
yes.
And because the thing that that I don't know if it's Billy or Tommy at the time. The thing that Billy / and or Tommy is saying is that Mum and Dad haven't been getting on very well. And so Evan Pietro sees this, he clocks it, looks a bit confused, but then in the next fucking frame, he's making the excuse to let Vision go and do what Vision needs to do, and he'll be the XY chromosome person.
The thing is, even though
so good.
It's Evan Peters, though, is great.
Evan Pietro is his actual name.
Sorry, Evan Pietro. You're right, Evan Pietro.
Mm-hmm.
Evan Uncle P.
Evan
Peters is great in everything.
Yes.
He is genuinely a very interesting actor, I think. I think everything I see him in, I feel like he has an understanding of the character he's playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you can see it so much in this. When he's talking with the kids and he's being goofy Uncle P, he's being he's just a big man child.
Yeah.
He's 100% the character that they need him to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he's talking to Wanda, he's still that character. It's not like he's a different person. He's not switching like, oh, I've got alter egos. It's nothing like that. He's still the same person. But he's talking to her. Like, but it just, I don't know. I can't describe it. I've had a lot of wine. Just his understanding of the character and what the character is doing and his sort of, you are doing this. I know you're doing this.
Are we going to go straight to when he is addressing?
I don't need to. I can rein it in.
Because we can.
We can.
If we jump around, the danger is that we'll get lost. Whereas if we go through the beats,
okay, go through the beats because you're right. I'll just follow a path and
So right. Malcolm in the Middle comes on, and then you've got the two boys who
Halloween
are
costumes.
absolutely brilliant.
They're brilliant, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
They are genuinely brilliant. Those child actors.
They are. Is it? I mean, I guess they are twins. That's not like a one kid playing both.
I haven't checked.
No, I don't know.
I assume it's actual twins. Because there's too much togetherness.
There's a lot of them together.
It's not like when Phoebe and Ursula are together.
No, but this is 25 years later. So
she's like, you talk, I'll check.
Okay, so Podlovy and Friends. There's a show called The West Wing. And
no, don't talk.
No? Okay.
No, talk about
WandaVision, right. That makes more sense. So, the WandaVision. Tommy and Billy are excited for Halloween. One of them, Tommy and or Billy, is excited because it's the day you get to be somebody else. And the other one is excited because it's the day you get loads of candy, which is what American people call chocolate and also sweets. They have one word which covers both chocolate and sweets, which I think is really weird because chocolate and sweets are so bloody drastically different. You don't want one word to cover chocolate and...
They aren't even brothers.
Are they different? They're not even related?
Nope.
Wow.
Julian Hilliard is Billy Maximoff, and Jet Klein is Tommy Maximoff.
Are you sure that's not like the...
Well, no, literally. Julian Hilliard is Billy Maximoff, and Jet Klein is Tommy Maximoff. They're not even brothers.
Oh, wow. Well, look how unobservant we are.
Like, yeah, we are. And Julian Hilliard was young Luke in The Haunting of Hill House.
Of course he was.
Yeah, there you go.
What a lovely thought. So,
yeah,
the
there you go. That's knowledges.
That's knowledges. So, Billy and or Tommy wants to be somebody else. Tommy and or Billy is just excited for the candy / sweets / chocolate, which American people figure out what to call your confectionaries. So, Uncle P is asleep on the sofa, and the twins think that he's the coolest guy in the world, which makes all the sense.
But also scared he's a vampire.
Also scared he's a vampire, yeah, which is
because
fun.
he can move so fast. And he's like, Wah!
Yes, and that's hilarious too.
It's so funny. He's genuinely really funny.
I wish that the sitcoms had always been this funny.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I was having a lovely time.
It's crazy you've never watched Malcolm in the Middle, because honestly, this is just a rip-off of Malcolm in the Middle.
I saw moments of Malcolm in the Middle, but I didn't watch it, religious.
I did.
I just watched it occasionally sometimes, but I was too old and I was too cool. So I was like
never cool.
leaning against the wall somewhere, sort of flicking my hair in a pretentious way.
And smoking a cigarette and like wearing a Neo coat.
No, I never had a Neo coat. I had leather jackets, but never a Neo coat. Anyway, so...
I never had a Neo coat or a leather jacket.
That does not surprise me. So, Vision comes downstairs. Right? Vision comes downstairs. Vision and are you going to be all right to do this?
Yes.
Okay. Vision and the Scarlet Witch are dressed like Vision and the Scarlet Witch in the comic books, right?
But Scarlet Witch is a Sokovian fortune teller.
Yes, but also they are wearing sort of Halloween versions of their costumes in the comics.
Yeah. But she's a Sokovian fortune teller.
She is. She does a nice little sort of holding a crystal ball thing.
Yeah.
There's a flashback to when
they were kids.
And Pietro were... Uncle P were given a fish.
Given a fish
to share.
But she's got like little sort of twisty, horny things. Yeah. I really enjoyed the flashbacks because they did a flashback to the Age of Ultron scene.
Yes,
they did flashbacks to their childhood. It was interesting because they showed Pietro's death, and obviously the address, like I was really pleased actually, because I was like, is Wanda going to ignore the fact that they've brought Evan Peters in to be Pietro?
No, they touched on it just the right amount.
Yeah.
Let's keep
no, you're right, because I went ahead again.
Let's keep rattling through the beats.
So yeah, Vision comes down wearing his gold boxer shorts.
Yes.
And he says he's off to do the...
this is brilliant. The Neighborhood Watch.
The Neighborhood Watch. And you know what? I was actually really pleased because we haven't heard about the Neighborhood Watch.
It's episode 2?
Yeah, really early when it was still in black and white.
Yeah, episode 2, yeah.
And I was like, oh, good, okay, they're going back to that. And again, you see Herb, you see him in his Halloween costume. Like, you get the characters that you've kind of... we've not seen Anya.
Only for a moment in episode 3 when
the
her
lights go
husband
out.
says,
like
when she asks,
these earrings make me look fat. We've not seen
Dottie
Anya.
has been absent.
Yeah, which makes me think she's gonna be back.
Yeah,
in a big fucking deal.
Yeah, I think so as well.
But anyway, so Vision's there in his gold boxer shorts. He tells Wanda he's got to do the Neighborhood Watch, and she's resistant, but he's the little interaction, it's...
Well, okay, so before the Neighborhood Watch thing, there is a ripple, if you like, of the conflict between them, between Vision and Wanda, because he says... When she's like, oh, thank you for humouring me and wearing the clothes.
Yeah.
And he says, well, it was the only thing in my wardrobe when I opened. So, and then she looks a little bit like,
oh, no. Yeah.
Are we having conflict? And then he sort of shrugs it away and smiles in the kind of, I'm being the sitcom version. And is very sort of, And they have a really funny, like, he's like, you have a thing for Mexican wrestlers. And she's like, mi gucho gusto. Or
And
something.
he's like, chili con carne.
Yeah. Which is really funny. Chili con carne.
Chili con carne.
But it's also...
He sounds so English when he does that.
He does sound
chili con carne.
Chili con carne. It's also... Yeah, but it is addressing the fact that... And then that's when... Oh, no, sorry. Then it goes to the point where he starts saying, like, I'm going. And she's like, that's not what you're supposed to do. And he says, what? Like, go on.
Their little interaction between them then is so heavy.
Yeah. Especially because we saw them flying and facing off against each other last time. I agree.
And, like, it's played... They play it. These actors are phenomenal.
Yes.
Because they manage to make it both a sort of light disagreement, like, I don't want you to go out, but you're going out, and I'll allow it because I'm not going to be a dick, and it's fine, you can do what you want. But under the sort of the genuine, normal human interaction of, I want to go out, I don't want you to, it's okay because I don't control you, but I really want to go out, and I'm sorry, but I'm going out, but I care about your feelings, but blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? The sort of, like, the normal human interaction that will happen in a couple that they have on the surface, and it's very well played on the surface, very believable, but everything under that interaction is, like, I was watching it and I was just like, my chest is hurting. I'm like, this is horrible. The pain,
and then when he's like, he says good night to the boys, and Uncle P is like, oh, I'll do the XY.
I love that,
like,
by the way. He's like, oh, I've got the XY chromosome. I can't do the accent. Do it for me. I've got the XY chromosome. I can do the dad. Like, I can do the math.
That's going all over the place.
I'm trying. He's like, I can do the math.
You can do the what? I'm sorry. Repeat that one more time, please.
I can be the man because I have the XY.
Okay. So Uncle P.
Oh, Lord.
Uncle P volunteers to be the XY, and Vision does a swooping exit. Where
I
like,
love his swooping exit, by the way. I very much enjoyed that. It was very, very fun.
I agree. So then we go over to the outside of Westview storyline.
May I just say very quickly? Yes, you may. Right. I feel like if I can get into a little bit of a less blobfish shape, right? I feel that come Halloween,
you want to dress like Wanda?
I want us
to dress like Vision and Wanda.
Yes, I do.
Wow. Okay.
I reckon.
So it's not just yourself that you're putting pressure to lose weight. Then.
Oh no, you're
it's
fine.
Me too.
No. You can wear the gold boxes and the green unitard.
I'm not wearing that.
But I feel like if I can just slightly deblobfish myself, right, I would rock the red leotard, horned,
oh my,
cape and mask. I reckon I could do Wanda, and I think you could do Vision. I think that is our Halloween.
Okay, I'm not gonna say no.
Yay! But then that's what we shall do.
But I'm also not going to say 100% yes, because...
But also, that would be cool.
Losing weight is hard, and I would need to do that thing.
No, you'd be fine.
Plus, I'm shorter than Paul Bettany, and therefore, the podge...
I'm probably taller than Elizabeth Olsen. So.
Yeah, maybe. So, anyway, I'm not committing to that on the podcast right now.
Okay.
So...
Podlovians... Genuinely, I think that should be our Halloween plans.
Okay, so then we go.
I want the costume. Okay.
Then we go to outside of Westview. Acting director Tiny Penis is. He probably does not have a tiny, but he's quite a tall man. But
I genuinely, until now, haven't given thought.
Well, I was just being mean because he's mean, you know? I mean Haywood. His name's Haywood.
It's very similar to Tiny Penis.
It is very similar to acting director Tiny Penis.
Yep. I'm sober. I can cope.
So we're catching up on what the Sword crew are doing, and so right, okay, sit up.
Yes.
So the we were talking about Joss Whedon, right? And Joss Whedon's in a lot of trouble, right?
Oh, yes.
This is one of the 2 moments in this episode that I thought were very timely, and it can't have been on purpose because
No, of course.
because they couldn't have known.
No.
But
Right, tell me
Jimmy
your...
Woo, when Haywood is being horrible to Monica and Darcy.
Yeah.
Jimmy Woo, who's the nicest person in the world.
I love him.
And also very strong and capable when it comes to
fucking hell, he's
right?
fucking badass.
Yeah, really badass. I enjoyed it. So
I enjoyed it
But he
too.
says there's no time to diminish your colleagues while you're trying to start a war you're not going to win. And I thought, given the week that we've had,
of the Whedon,
that a character in a professional setting,
I liked it very
admonishing
much.
a superior for diminishing his colleagues.
No,
I
agree.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I agree, and I really like it. Like
maybe Haywood and anybody else in the world shouldn't be horrible to people that work with or for him.
I agree, and I like that it was Jimmy Woo. Like, don't get me wrong.
I wouldn't argue with Jimmy Woo.
Especially now we've seen him, fucking
battering a bunch of guys. Yeah.
But no, the thing is, they don't ever at any point treat Monica or Darcy like they can't stand up for themselves ever. If they were treated like wallflowers who couldn't.
When you say they, who do you mean? Do you mean
Monica and Darcy?
No. They don't treat Monica and Darcy.
The writers.
The writers. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Monica and Darcy are never written like the damsels. They're never damseled. They are clearly strong, and I hate to use the strong female character. I hate that because
it's been dragged through the shit
and
for
also
20 years.
The thing is, as well, when people say strong female character, they usually mean a male character
with a female
pronoun, and they're just like, we just write the same character, but we just call them like Sheila instead of Shane, and that's the difference. But these aren't. They aren't. They're women. They are different, interesting women with their own personalities, and they are never infantilized. They're never made to be wallflowers or damsels.
By Haywood they are, but that's he's the bad guy. Or the antagonist anyway.
Yeah, exactly. As people in their own right, they aren't treated like female characters can be in story. So when Jimmy Woo stands up for them, I don't feel like it's they need a man to come to their protection at all.
Well, no, like the line, like there's no time to diminish your colleagues. He's not saying the female colleagues.
Yeah, no.
He's not
exactly.
I loved the line. I felt like I needed to hear the line because maybe the whole world needs to hear. There's no time to diminish your colleagues.
Exactly.
At the moment.
And the thing is, right, because I am very involved in like feminist Twitter and like the conversations about how women are written in story, and I am very hyper aware to it. But the way I think this was dealt with was these women have been given agency of their own. These women have stood up for themselves. These women have been never treated like they are inferior in any way by the story, and now it's time for a man to be an ally.
Yeah.
And to put himself on the line and be like, no, I'm not accepting this either.
So my question is there any in the Twitter space?
Oh, I've not seen anything.
Okay, all right.
No, literally, this was my take.
Right.
And I'm not the best feminist in the world, right? But I try.
You're in the Click Club.
I am totally in the Click Club.
That's the main thing.
That's the main thing. But the point is, like, when I saw this, I was like, if they'd never stood up for themselves, if they'd never been written as able to be strong,
right,
then it would be different.
Okay, so my take on this entire thing is that I didn't even register that was anything like that.
Well, no, I mean the thing is,
To
I'm
register,
hyper
because,
aware of it because of the like the Twitter
Yeah,
areas I sort of exist in.
but the characters are behaving the way that the characters behave, and Jimmy Woo, as depicted by Randall Park, I think his name. He played Asian Jim in The Office.
He did. He
Which
did
is-
play. I loved Asian
Right?
Jim.
Um,
And
Jim's
he's in
not
the
Asian.
photo with Pam
Yeah,
and
and they've got
Cece.
sort of biracial children.
Yeah, I
Um,
just fucking love it. It was
Good for
brilliant.
you for not seeing race.
He was fab. He's really good.
He's fucking brilliant. The I'm more tempted to watch Ant-Man and Ant-Man 2 again than I've ever been.
Because you want to watch
Because-
him learn the card trick.
Well, not just that, but he's so good.
He is great.
He's great. Like when he's punching those guys, I was like, yeah.
Oh my gosh, when he
It is great.
honestly, right, because I was expecting Monica to be able to be a fucking badass.
And Darcy's like, why didn't you guys tell me about the plan?
I know. When Jimmy Woo, when fucking he's like banging the shit out of them, I'm like, yes, my man.
I'm gonna have to bring the levels down. Oh, so
I've run out of wine.
so in it.
Pause, please, future John.
So, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
we've paused. We are refreshed. So- In the Outside Westview story,
Yeah.
we've kind of jumped about a lot, as we do.
Oh, we do, but it's really hard not to because the characters are doing so many things, and it's really hard not to sort of follow a train of thought
It
with a
is
specific
hard.
character.
It is hard not to follow a train of thought with a character because there are so many things going on. So, okay, so let's get to the Wanda and Pietro, Uncle P story, the Evan Pietro story.
All right, Evan
Right.
Pietro.
With Wanda and the kids.
So he's leading the kids astray, being the cool uncle.
Yeah.
I very much enjoyed when Herb was on the phone and he's like,
Yeah.
you say all the candy's missing,
Yeah.
and then you see them flash by.
Yeah.
Oh, and now all the pumpkins have been
Yeah.
smashed.
It was Simpsons humor
It
again.
was.
Yeah.
And then, and now they're all covered.
You say that this is happening now? It almost like, Herb doesn't need to say those things because he's literally repeating back to the person on the other end of the phone
Yeah.
what that person is saying. Dial tone, right?
It's the reason it's so funny is because it's such an obvious joke, but it's the thing is,
It goes on for again the
Like,
perfect amount of
I
time.
agree, because the thing is with an obvious joke, right? If you make an obvious joke, it can be like eye roll, yawn.
Yes. Unless you are winking and having and nudging
That's
the
exactly
audience.
the thing is, if you are making it with so much self-awareness that the
Yes.
audience is in on the fact, and it's a really difficult line to tread because
It's the Simpsonian thing.
it
Like I
is
say, like,
Simpsonian, but the reason Simpsonian humor is so
enduring.
it is because it walks that very, very narrow line so brilliantly.
Yes. Well, it's
And-
because they understand, the writers of The Simpsons in the 90s, they understood what the audience was expecting. So they could walk that line really well.
I
because
don't know what modern Simpsons is like.
It's not as good. It's still good, don't get me wrong. I am not one of these people who thinks that The Simpsons is garbage ever since,
Oh no, I don't.
1990, whatever. But
I'm not
there
familiar
was a
with it.
period in the 90s where it was absolutely in sync perfectly with what the audience was expecting,
I agree.
and so it was able to play that game and have that dance and flirt with the audience.
And this is what this is doing.
And that is what this is doing.
It's saying this is what you expect, and we are either going to deliver it in such a way that you are invested and involved and part of the joke. You're not being joked to, you are in on it. Or we're not going to deliver it at all, but you're going to expect us to.
Yeah. So Evan Peters and Wanda and the boys are walking around, and they're stealing candy. Again, the weird umbrella term for all confectionery.
Yeah, that is true.
And
like noodles is all pasta.
Yeah, Americans strange.
They say noodles, like even if it's like fusilli or
Who knows why?
noodles.
Why? Americans, if you could just address that.
Well, Josette, one of the actors in our movie Hollow.
Okay.
Oh, I did. One of the actors in our movie Hollowhead, Josette.
The American.
Josette Celeste.
Yeah. Every English movie needs an American character.
She is literally the only American.
Our American.
But she was explaining that if we say noodles, she assumes we mean pasta, and we're like, no, we mean noodles, the Asian food. And she's like, but all pasta is noodles. And I'm like, well, how do you differentiate between pastas?
Yeah. I don't know. But they say spaghetti. There's a lot of Italian Americans. They say
macaroni because they have macaroni cheese.
Yeah.
Oh no, they have mac and cheese. We say macaroni cheese.
Macaroni cheese, mac and cheese. But it's they're not saying nudes and cheese.
Nudes and Josette, if you're listening to this podcast, can you please address our question?
Also, Podlovians
randomly about macaroni cheese.
Podlovians,
and
don't ask for nudes and cheese because a million nudes will arrive and they will not be.
I bet if you Google nudes and cheese,
there's some guy with nudes and cheese.
Oh, I was thinking women. It's usually women when you Google nudes.
Oh, interesting.
Anyway, side note, Josette, just let us know. Anyway, so they go
the
on.
What you're looking for is.
Anyway, they do it. I found the relationship between
Wanda and Pietro. We've got to get into this because we're getting into the meat and the bones here.
We really are. I found it really interesting because Pietro was.
Okay, can I recommend something right now?
No.
Can I recommend something?
No.
I think we should just cut straight to whatever our minds take us to.
Okay, right. Pietro knows that Wanda is doing this.
Yes.
He has no bones about the fact that he's performing. He knows he looks different.
Well, he says, like, you wanted me to come here.
Yes.
Like, create a bit of conflict with the brother-in-law.
Yeah, he literally...
Be a bad influence to the kids.
He talks about his role in this TV show.
Yeah.
And then she sees him dead.
Yes.
It's fucking... You know what? And you know what I want to say as well? If we're talking about wherever our minds take us.
Yes.
Right? And this is like jumping massively
all
ahead.
over the place.
I'm really sorry, Podlovians.
Right? Podlovians, you understand.
Right, and we've talked about Whedon. So I'm going to talk Snyder for a second.
Fuck me. All right, okay. Let's
right.
go.
No, right. When Vision is forcing his way out of that, out of Westview.
Just pouring a glass of wine. Yeah.
And you've got the force field. And there was that side-on shot of the force field and Vision pushing his way through. Honestly, I was like, that is a Snyder shot.
Do you mean that in a positive?
Yes,
negative,
in a positive.
Or neutral?
No,
okay.
In a positive. Like, I have opinions on Snyder's work, and I have both positive and negative opinions on Snyder's work, because I think I have that about literally everybody.
I think we can boil it down to visually incredible, storytelling not great.
But visually incredible is relevant, and visually...
This show is visually incredible. Like, there's no question about it. You're right, I agree. Vision is very Superman-ish in this episode.
That moment when you get that side-on shot, like, I'm gesticulating again, Podlovians, you can't see me, but what I'm showing is like my hand is up, right? And he's pushing his way through, and you have the force fieldy dome thing, and he's pushing his way through. Honestly, I was like, Snyder would watch this and be like, yes.
Okay. Okay,
It was stunning.
I won't comment. I don't know what Zack Snyder would think of this, but
I do. I'm very close personal friends with
Zachy Boy.
Zack. I call him Zackmeister.
The Z man.
No, I call him Zack.
The Z man.
I would not call him that because that is lame. I call him
rad,
Zackmeister.
So ultimately, right? Vision does give off Superman vibes in
It's fucking incredible.
all of this.
Oh my gosh! If we're talking about what comes to mind, may I just say, right, Agnes.
You're gonna have to let me talk at some point, right?
No, I'm not.
You are, because I've got stuff I need to say.
Oh, right, fine.
But no, tell me about Agnes.
Agnes
I'm
in the
gonna
car.
need to insist at some point that I'm gonna get my thoughts out.
Well,
my head's gonna blow up. So go on,
oh,
Agnes.
I don't want your head to blow up.
There we go.
I'm quite fond of your head.
It's a good head.
Okay, so Agnes in the car.
Yes.
Right. Until this moment,
Mm-hmm.
I had wondered, you know, when Herb says, like, do you want me to do something about this?
Do you want me to change anything for you, Wanda?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, yeah, okay. He knows. Norm.
Right, yeah.
Norm didn't know.
Norm had no agency at all.
No agency at all.
Herb has some.
Herb has some agency, right? I thought Agnes had a lot of agency.
In the Herb club rather than the Norm club.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because she does have agency, because she says, do you want me to take it from the top?
Yes.
When the twins are there.
Yes.
But she does not have full agency.
Can I lay down some Agnes?
Unbrain explode. Give me your Agnes thoughts, because I want them.
We talked about how Agnes might be Agatha Harkness, right?
Not on this, we didn't.
Did we not?
No, literally we didn't. That conversation was in the kitchen.
Okay. I thought we had, but Podlovians, if my beloved is right,
I am right.
And
I'm
we've
always
never
right.
we JJ and I talked about how perhaps the character Agnes from WandaVision is the fictional character from comic books Agatha Harkness, who is a witch,
which makes total sense. Agnes, and
it's the beginning of she's literally her own ship name,
100%.
Agnes. Okay, so in this episode, Wanda wears her comic book outfit down to a T, right?
I love it.
Vision wears his comic book outfit down to a T, like with the collar and the green and the yellow and the big nonsensical undies.
Boxes, yeah.
Right? Agnes is for Halloween dressed like a witch.
Yeah. I noticed that too.
So I did a little bit of work, right?
Did you do research behind the scenes?
Not behind the scenes, but I just did a little bit of work and I found something which a lot of the Podlovians might already know.
We
haven't talked about
No,
this
I'm very excited. The thing is, Podlovians, right? We literally don't talk about the episode until now, and so I'm really excited for this. Please tell me this thing.
Okay, so
I'm really excited.
The character Agatha Harkness,
yes,
in Marvel Comics,
yes,
was tried as a witch during the Salem witch trials.
Really?
Right?
Okay.
This is the beginning of the character.
Yeah.
She was a young witch at the time of the Salem witch trials.
Love it, love everything about it.
The Salem witch trials, Podlovians, are a real historical event that actually happened, and they're the day that it started, the day that the witch trials started in Salem, was the 2nd of June. Right?
Right.
And in the first episode of WandaVision, when Wanda first meets Agnes and is talking about, maybe it's an anniversary or something, Agnes says, my husband Ralph wouldn't remember our anniversary, even if there was a such and such. I can't remember what the example she uses, but she refers to the date, the 2nd of June.
Oh my God!
Right?
Oh my God!
Which is the day that the Salem witch trials started. So.
Oh my God! I am.
She's dressed as a witch in that car.
She is.
There's no question about it.
100%.
She is Agatha Harkness, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh!
She's a witch.
I love it. I'm so excited.
Agatha Harkness, she had a coven. Like, this is your shit.
This
right?
is 100. I know. I'm very excited. I write about witches and covens and all of it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so 100% this is definitely my shit. I'm very excited.
So the question is that a performance?
Yeah, you know what? Literally. Oh my gosh. This is what I was gonna get to.
If it is, she's fucking incredible. When she's like all this, and when she shouts "dead" 4 times at him, I was like, Jesus, this is so good. It's so good.
Because I wondered if she was. I wondered, and I was like, is she performing what she expects? Like, she expects Vision to expect.
And why is she even out there? Why is she even out there? Yes, she took a wrong turn.
No.
Lost in
that
the
was
town.
bullshit.
Well, it might not be. That's the thing. It might not be bullshit. It might be true.
No.
But,
you see, I literally, and I'm so excited that you've told me this now, right? Because when I was watching it, I was like, I don't buy it. And I was like,
there's no way that she's not Agatha Harkness when she's dressed like a witch.
I was like, honestly, I was watching it and I was like, her performance of being under Wanda's control and the blood, and then the snapped out of it and the back in it and like Halloweeny.
Happy Halloweeny.
Yeah, right. I was like, the performance of that is fucking on it. But I was like, I don't buy it because I think you are actually an incredibly powerful witch who is doing things.
So,
oh my gosh, the fact you've just told me this. Because I didn't know this Salem witch trials date thing. Like, I know, like, I don't know why, because I've read loads about the Salem witch trials, but I forgot this.
It was an innocuous thing in the first episode. I didn't notice.
I didn't notice it, like, and I feel really ashamed now because I should have noticed, but I didn't. Anyway, the point is, I didn't notice it. I did not buy it. I bought it in terms of the performance. The performance was perfect. Yeah.
When she's like, all is lost.
Yeah.
And she starts laughing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Like, it's harrowing.
It's honestly horrible to watch.
Yeah.
But in a brilliant way.
Before that, when Vision's walking towards the edge of town, and he sees the woman with the laundry. Oh my god. And the tear running down her eye.
Yes.
Like,
you see, I was watching that when other people are kind of frozen.
They're like animatronics. They're like extras without even the minor bits of agency.
And I was like, okay, is this because of proximity to Wanda?
Okay, so are we going to question why on the outskirts of town?
Yeah.
Closer to where the magic ends.
Well, Wanda said, don't go near Ellis Street.
Yes.
And that was the street that Agnes was on.
Yes. So yeah, I assume, and it might not be right, but I assume that the further away from Wanda / the magic where it's centered is, that the more
like robot you get.
The more is the wrong way of putting it. The less agency you have.
But okay, so my question is this then.
Yeah.
Right. She says, "Don't go near Ellis Street," and you see that Ellis Street is where this whole interaction happens.
Yeah.
We live in a small town. There's loads of streets out of town.
Yeah, but also don't worry about that because, like, the whole town is being controlled. So.
Yeah, but is there only one street out?
I figure that there's like one street that kind of is the right. So Pavlovian friends, forgive me for doing this. We're going to your mother's house, right?
Yeah.
You get to the end of the Sandon Road, and then there's the Beaconside Road.
Yeah.
And you turn left onto Beaconside, then you go right up towards Sandon.
Yeah.
To me, this is like the road towards the Beaconside Road.
Yeah, sure, but there's also
once you get to that point, there's lots of other ways.
But there's also the road towards Horton, the road towards
but perhaps it's a circle because it's America, and
maybe they have like blob towns.
Blob towns.
Where there's like a little blob town and there's a road in and out of the town.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know how American towns work.
I don't know how.
We should ask JSAC.
our resident expert in all
Resident
things America,
Josette,
who is familiar with the geography of every American town.
Are your towns blob towns where there's one road in and one road out, like a cul-de-sac in England, but town-sized?
But a town-de-sac.
A town-de-sac.
Right?
We should ask Josette.
Before we get lost thinking about that...
It's a ridiculous question, you're right.
Let's keep talking about
Josette
WandaVision.
will answer it, yeah.
Right? So, Pietro addresses to Wanda, where have you been hiding these kids?
Oh my god, the kids! Yes! Right? Because there was literally no children.
Vision made a very strong point about it.
He said
the playgrounds stand empty every day as I walk to work.
But now there's hundreds of fucking kids.
Now there's loads of kids. And Pietro's, the Quicksilver, he attributes it to an ethical decision that she made. And she doesn't resist the idea.
Yeah, he says he keep families together.
People have got better jobs than they've got than they used to have.
Yeah,
It's almost like he's saying that everybody's got a slightly better deal than they had before, right? Which is the House of M in a nutshell, which is the...
Do you know something really interesting, right?
Yes.
So we talked about House of M. Today I got an email from Amazon
about the House of M.
About the house, literally.
Should we buy it and read
it? The subject line was House of M. You will enjoy this product. And I was like, oh, I'm like, you do listen to us.
Someone, Podlevians, is listening to this podcast, and it is an algorithm. So thank you, Amazon.
It is not just that.
No, I just like to
humans listening to this.
I just like to disparage us because it makes me feel better. It makes me feel like I'm in control of our failures.
This is so depressing.
But it's also endearing, right?
Podlovians. We know
of the pod.
Right? Please tell them you're not just an algorithm, because it depresses me.
Come and tell me. Say, no, I am not. Let's start a Spartacus-esque.
Oh, I am an algorithm.
Uprising.
An algorithm.
I'm not an algorithm.
Oh, I'm not
That's what I'm looking for. No, I am an algorithm. That's
I thought you meant loads of people standing up saying, yes, I am an algorithm.
I am an algorithm, and so is my wife.
So is my wife.
So, what the fuck were we talking about?
Pietro and the kids.
Pietro says, like, where did you get these kids from? And I guess the episode sort of suggests that indeed they were just asleep the whole time.
Yeah, because he says if you kept them asleep in their beds.
Yeah, because we talked, again, Podlevian, sorry, we do talk about this show when we're not recording. But we talked about the idea that perhaps something horrible had happened in Westview, which is why Westview was chosen, because of all the For the Children stuff.
The For the Children
in episode
was
2.
fucking weird.
It was. It felt ritualistic. And, oh, by the way, Agnes, when the kids age up, she's spraying lavender on them, right?
Yeah.
Like, I know we kind of touched on it a little bit, but if she's now confirmed as a witch, which I feel like she is.
Can I just say that
somebody made
spray lavender?
Yeah, because you want the kids to age up. I get it.
No, because I want our kids to age up.
Well, why don't you want the kids to age up? Then they can move out and live on their own.
Because I actually quite like our children at moments. Not often.
Yeah, I don't really want them to age up, but I was just making a joke because it's stressful having children in the house all the time.
Spraying lavender, like, I wish I was a witch, but I love lavender. Am I actually a witch? I've just not realised it. This would thrill me.
Narrator. She was not a witch.
God damn it!
So, if nothing ever happened.
She's spraying lavender.
Perhaps she aged them up, right, is the point. Maybe she made it happen.
I definitely feel like Agnes... Right, because as I say, when
she's not just like Norm.
No.
She's not like Norm.
She's not like Norm. Herb is interesting.
Herb is the key.
Herb is fucking interesting. But Agnes, Yeah, when I was watching it, right, because I didn't know about the whole Salem witch trials thing, and I was like, I'm not buying this. I
Mhm.
feel like you know too much, like,
Mhm.
but also you're brilliant at it, so it could be real. There's just right. Every episode, I feel like this is more and more true. There is so many things to think about and talk about that I don't know how. I don't know how to do it.
Okay.
But okay,
So
so talk
we've
about.
got a podcast where that's the whole
I
point.
know, I know. I'm a terrible podcaster. But listen, right. We should go back to outside when Monica and Jimmy Woo and Darcy
Yes.
like go rogue.
Yes. So Hayward is like, get them out of here. I don't like these guys. Get them out of here.
And they do the old, sort of batter the people and steal their costumes.
Yep. Classic.
Yeah,
And then there's a little
it's
bit
in
of
Wonder Woman.
which is it's better in Wonder Woman.
It is better in Wonder Woman. It
um,
still works in this.
It does still work in this. So there's a bit of the like chess piece
Mm-hmm.
character work going on in the writing, because the Darcy's like, oh, I haven't quite finished figuring out the way through Hayward's firewall or whatever, because the writers want Darcy to stay where she is, but they want Monica and Jimmy Woo to drive off. So you have to separate the three of them, and you have to find a way to do it.
Here's
so
my question.
That
right?
is just literally putting pieces in place.
Oh, I know, but why? Because they all end up inside the hex.
Monica and Jimmy don't.
Have they not driven towards the hex?
No, they were driving away. They got away before Hayward.
Oh, see, I didn't catch that. I thought that they were driving towards that.
No, they were driving away. And Monica Rambeau talks about her man, right? My man meeting me in 1 hour, and I was like, oh, who is your man? And we never find out who her man is. She talked last week about like an astrophysics engineer or whatever.
Oh, what does Bruce Banner do? Is he an astrophysics energy engineer? Because he's...
No.
Oh,
but Reed
he's
Richards
very...
is.
Oh my god!
Mr. Fantastic.
Oh my god!
So maybe...
Oh my god!
Maybe next week when they're looking at the camera and it's like do 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 do.
Oh my god!
Maybe next week when they're talking about, like, when they're looking at the camera and like there's somebody jimming the camera the whole time, not just like Malcolm in the Middling, but jimming the camera.
Yeah.
There'll be a guy who looks a lot like John Krasinski, who's Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic.
Okay, so here's my question.
Yes.
Right, if they're bringing the, are they? Do we know they're bringing the Fantastic Five?
Fantastic. How many?
5.
4.
Is it 4?
There's 4 of them.
I was thinking of the famous 5. I was going Beatrix Potter. Is it Beatrix Potter?
I don't know, but the Fantastic 4.
No, it's not Beatrix Potter. Anyway.
Okay, no, we don't know.
Enid Blyton.
Blyton. I don't know. Maybe it's confirmed in the internet.
Here's my question, though, right?
Yeah.
Because I love this theory. I absolutely love this theory, right? Chris Evans was Captain America.
The Flaming Torch.
He was the Human Torch.
The Human Torch, yeah, not the Flaming Torch.
He was the Human Torch. Right. So if they're bringing the old...
Quiet you.
If they're bringing the old... like universe characters into the MCU, right? They did it with Evan Pietro.
Evan P.
Right, Evan P. as the new Pietro.
No, I don't think we're going to see Chris Evans as the.
I don't think we're going to see.
Torch.
I don't think we're going to see Chris Evans as the Human Torch, because that's kind of been and gone. And
but I don't think we're going to see Jessica Alba as the stretchy one either. But
no,
well, not the stretchy one. What was she?
She was no. Mr. Fantastic is the stretchy one, isn't he?
He's the stretchy one. She was the invisible something.
Yeah.
Anyway,
women are usually the invisible ones.
It's better that you remain invisible, and then we can all have
it's
a good
also
time.
in
Am I right, boyfriends?
In The Incredibles, it's Violet who's the invisible one.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The girls, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of the comic book store, girls. With your weird vaginas. We don't want them in here. Penises only, please.
Hey, I've got the XY chromosome.
Okay, Kendra.
That was look. My accents are amazing.
They
you
are
just
amazing.
don't appreciate
So
them.
I agree, right? But anyway,
I'm very excited by the idea that it's.
I'm not saying that it's going to be Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four movies,
like 100 years ago.
From 100 years ago, when Steve Rogers was the Human Torch. For some reason. I'm just saying. Like, they're gonna, like, okay, so you asked me.
Okay.
You asked me, are they going to introduce the Fantastic Four into the MCU? The answer is 100% fucking yes.
Oh my god, right? I'm very excited by this.
I don't know. No, I'm just saying that they are definitely going to do that because they've now got the rights to do it.
Well, if they've got the rights, they fucking should. And I love the idea that she's been hinting at there's a guy, and that's the guy.
When Marvel got the rights to Spider-Man,
they fucking whacked it straight in.
They did a great Spider-Man. They
were like, right,
Tom
Holland is a fucking great Spider-Man. They threw him in. He's part of it. Yeah, no.
When they get the rights to something, they fucking go for it. They don't twat about. They just rattle through it.
I'm obsessed with everything you're saying.
So watch it again. The episode 5. She talks about, I know an astrophysics engineer who might know something about this, blah, blah, blah. And then in this episode, she's talking about my guy, and then we never see her meet him.
And it must be, oh my gosh. Podlovians.
Shall we do something very quickly?
What?
Let us find out.
No, don't do spoilers.
No,
I don't want to know.
Astrophysics engineers in the Marvel comics, right?
Oh, good gooks.
Astrophysics engineers in, not engineers.
What is it's the wine.
In the Marvel comics, right?
Mm.
Slide over to that one and change it to an N. Behave!
You're not doing very well at this. There we go.
Yeah! Right. See? They know. Fantastic family. Blah, blah, blah. Mystery of the... there's no way to look, really, without them. List of fictional scientists and engineers. Okay. Alright. In comics. We want in comics and graphic... Oh, there we go. No, we don't want these.
Barry Allen! It could be Barry Allen!
It's not going to be Barry Allen, is it? Because he's in the DC movies.
I got excited.
The multiverse hasn't quite stretched that far. Although maybe Wanda will push it all the way.
I'm just saying, I got very excited for a moment.
So, Podlovian friends, we did have a look, and I might edit this out later. It depends how the conversation sounds. I did have a look, but... there were too many options. They were all very spoilery about WandaVision, so
I don't want WandaVision spoilers.
I mean, there aren't really any spoilers. Like, Marvel knows what they're doing.
Right. Also, when I went to look at something earlier, an actor name or something, there was up to episode 9.
Yeah, there won't have been up to episode 9.
It won't be content, but it would be. I was just like, I don't want to see. I was like, I don't want to ruin it.
No, that's fair enough. So I agree. I don't want to ruin it either. So what else are we going to talk about?
We need to talk about Vision, like
just
this,
like Supermaning out of the
oh
out of
my
the
gosh! Like, wait, there was so much to talk about. The fact, like, okay, we need to talk about the fact that Tommy/Billy gets Pietro's power. Tommy/Billy,
Tommy gets the speed because Tommy's the speed. He's speed. The character, the superhero name is Speed.
Oh, in that case, so
and Billy is Wiccan.
Then in that case, that's why he can hear with the magic.
Yeah, he's inherited his mother's power. Tommy's inherited his uncle's power.
That's cool.
And again, it's hilarious and brilliant. When he's like, "I chip off the old block." Yeah,
the Maximoff block.
The Maximoff block.
He says, "I chip off the old Maximoff block."
Yeah.
My accents are just terrible. Right, we need to talk about Vision. Right, lying to Wanda, and
he tells her to be good. He's doing his best. Like, he's not happy.
No. We need to talk about this.
But he has no faith in her at all.
None. He has no faith in her at all.
At all. And Pietro does. Or does he?
But does he?
Because at the end, when he's like, how, like, your dead brother can't die again, and she blasts him.
Dead husband.
Dead brother. I said dead brother. Yeah, you're right. He says
Your dead husband can't die again.
And she blasts him all the way through town, like
she fucking she's not having it.
There's a lot going on.
You know what? When he forces his way out and it's her, like when Wanda walks out of that force field.
Yeah.
She just walks out.
She barges her way through.
And she's got no shits to give, and it's fierce.
That's the point. Like,
exactly.
Monica goes in without. Okay, she's probably becoming a superhuman or whatever because of her
he
blood.
Said like the blood is changing. Yeah, but the point is, she's becoming a mutant. But
for example,
when Wanda walks out, right? She walks out, and it's hard because the force field is resistant. But she
just totally bodges it.
Yeah, she's
down.
Not exactly struggling. When Vision walks out,
it kills him. Like, it kills him. She literally extends the.
Yeah, and he's like, the people need help.
The people need help. Yeah.
And Darcy is handcuffed to the thing, and she's like, help him. Why aren't you helping him?
It's so good.
And the reason, right, in my opinion, the reason
that they're not helping him
is because they want him to die so they can use his tech to make him a monster. They want him to die. As long as he's alive, they can't force him to become a weapon.
There's no other way to interpret it, right?
Exactly.
Like, they don't help him. Like, there's no order to help him. Therefore, the active goal is to let him die.
Because if he dies, they can get into his tech.
Yeah.
Which is really fucking horrible.
Stops that from happening.
Oh my god, do you know something? I have wondered.
You've wondered.
I've wondered so much. What is going to be a
noisy snoring dog?
A noisy snoring dog. What is going to happen? I'm like, if I was writing this, what would I do? Because I like to think about what would I do.
Yeah.
And I've had loads of ideas, like the things I'd do.
I still want Magneto.
I still want Magneto too.
I don't want Mephisto.
No, I don't want Mephisto. Fuck Mephisto.
Fuck Mephisto. That's the Siren Stories official response.
Fuck Mephisto. But the extending of the perimeter and
it's so good.
When they're running and they change into clouds.
Yeah, there's a helicopter, it turns into a hot air balloon.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so good. It's so good. These people are raising the game for all of us.
It's so good. And I was watching it and I was stood there eating my jacket potato because I was like, Podlovians, I was like, I'd cooked the kids' dinners while I was watching it, and then I was like eating my own dinner, and I was like, I can't leave the room, I can't, I was like, I've got to just stand, so I stood up to eat my jacket potato, because I was like, I need to sit, and honestly, when that perimeter is extending, and the guy, like what's his name, Hayward driving away, and like when Darcy's chained to the car and she's like, God, are you kidding me? You just like, oh my god, and like it comes and like it takes him over, right? And he's driving away, and I'm watching it and I'm like, oh my god, this is so tense, like this is so fun. And I'm like, also, I am so excited to see inside WandaVision Darcy.
Yeah.
Like, and what's next? Is it the Naughties?
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, the Naughties is next. So we're 6 episodes in, so there are 3 left.
So are they gonna... Right.
Naughties 10s?
Are they gonna end it in the fucking... They can't end it in the 20s, because the 20s has been dominated by...
Oh, but the number of episodes and the decade they started is not an accident. And they took a week off from accelerating decades because in episode 4, there was no acceleration. They went from, so in episode 1, 2, and 3, it went 50s, 60s, 70s. Then episode 4, there was no decade progression. and the progression to the 80s came in episode 5.
What was episode 4?
Episode 4 was when you got Monica Rambeau coming back from the blip and going to meet Hayward.
There was not much.
And there wasn't a lot of in the sitcom world.
Okay.
So there's no saying that the show won't do that again, is the point. Is that they might have episodes where they're not in the sitcom that much, so they let it be. And maybe that'll be like episode 8, which would make sense because this was episode 6. I feel like the next one is going to have to tread this line where they're doing both. Maybe episode 8 then is just all like, so maybe next week ends on like a ridiculous fucking cliffhanger. Reed Richards, Magneto, who knows?
God.
Who knows what? And then, or Doctor Strange might show up because she's in the next Doctor Strange movie.
Doctor Strange. Imagine if Bendy Dick Cumberwank shows up.
Bendy Dick Cumberwank?
I was close.
He's our countryman.
I'm close to his name. The point is...
Bendy Dick Countrywank? Cuntywank?
I said Cumberwank.
Oh, no, you didn't.
I said Bendy Dick Cumberwank.
Okay. Maybe I added cunty.
You added.
Sorry about that.
Because of our American friends who don't like it.
Sorry about that, Cumberbatch. But we like.
I love him.
Yeah.
He's the Bints.
He's the Bints. Which is also the Grinch, if you're our
4-year-old.
4-year-old when she was either 2 or 3.
She was 3 and obsessed with the Grinch.
And
but
she used
it
to
was
call him the Bints.
The Bints. And so she loved Bendy Dick Cumberbatch because he was the Bints.
Yeah. And then, we're not going to get into the various bollocks that happened because of that film with our children. They obsessed over it. So,
yes, they did.
So, yeah, maybe Cumberbatch will arrive. Or not.
That would thrill me.
I want to see Fassbender's Magneto so much.
Right, I had a conversation with a very cool woman called Tracy on the Twitters.
Mm-hmm.
And she was saying that she's really, she said she's hoping that the McKellen Magneto will rock up in WandaVision. And I was like, yes, I get it, because the McKellen Magneto is cool as fuck.
It's got to be Fassbender.
I was like, but if they are bringing the new era in, if they're bringing the new era in of the X-Men,
if they want to put a full stop on it, like, at some point you've got to stop asking questions. And if you've got the Fassbender universe version of Quicksilver, and
I agree,
modern version of, well, not modern, but like the modern day version of Magneto, it's more questions.
It's too much.
At some point you've got to stop at posing
and
questions.
Also, and this is mercenary, right? And it sounds brutal, and I do please forgive me.
They want an actor who's going to be around to act for another couple of decades.
McKellen is he old.
Right. Well, let us not speculate about the
but I'm just saying
longitude of
what I'm saying is I'm not saying this is, and I'm just saying, if you're looking at purely mercenary and investment wise, you people die young, you know what I mean?
They do, yeah.
Like Amy Winehouse, you died young.
I mean, the history is littered with the examples of musicians who died young.
Exactly.
I'm old for a musician at this point.
You are. I'm old for just life.
Just life.
I'm just old. But
we're a couple of grannies, basically, pod ladies.
No, I'm not. Shut up.
I said we're a couple of grannies. I was including me.
But I'm not a granny.
But therefore, it was a joke.
All right, fine.
Podlovians. It's fine.
But the point is, if you were going to put your money on for a longevity-wise story, you'd go with the younger actor.
Right. I agree. But also, so to give
And like, I love Fassbender. I'm not like, they're only going in with him because he's young. I'm not saying
to
that.
give the Ian McKellen vote a bit of time, right? And a bit of it deserves to be talked about because it would be fucking brilliant if Ian McKellen walked in with a fucking helmet on and like has sword soldiers putting their guns at themselves and saying Wanda, you know.
No, if Ian McKellen rocked
amazing.
up, I would.
And I'd be sitting here with my headphones on, watching the TV on my computer, going, "I can't do this. Like, dude, we've got to get rid of the kids so we can watch it on the TV." Because like, I can't watch.
If Ian McKellen rocked up, I would be beside myself.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'll be McKellen. I think it'll be Fassbender. And I'm putting money on the fact that Magneto Fassbender. I'm putting an entire 10 pennies. I don't have much money.
Nice. I still think that the world is too cruel and we don't get what we want. So I don't expect to see Fassbender as Magneto because that's what I really want, right?
There is that. I really want to see
my narcissistic side is convincing me that I don't get what I want because
the universe.
It's what I want, and therefore you can't have what you want.
You should watch my cosmic narcissism video on YouTube.
I don't need to actually because we formed that theory together. So
But you should watch it anyway because then I get viewed.
That's true. Actually, Podlovians, you should watch it because it's us. It's us coming through the mouth of Judith or JJ, as it were. So.
Yeah, I'm not Judith to anyone except you.
And some of your family.
My mother.
So, Podlovian friends, we were talking about what we're expecting to see. Fassbender, Ian McKellen. I wanted to say something about Ian McKellen.
He got his COVID jab recently.
That's good.
Him and Elton John.
So it is entirely possible that we will see no Magneto, right?
But I just love that as a.
Right, okay, so right,
Magneto as like an end, because it launches a lot, right? If Magneto rocks up, right, logically, if we're talking logic, they brought in the X-Men version Quicksilver.
Yes. Or have they? But yes, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I know that they've had like he's really dead, but he's here.
Yeah.
But the fact is they brought in that version of Quicksilver for however long or short it is.
Yes.
It is the X-Men.
It's literally him from the X-Men.
Exactly, right? Which means they are making moves to introduce the X-Men versions or the X-Men characters.
Yeah.
Into the universe.
And mutants, like we talked about last week.
Mutants.
The idea that Wanda's a mutant is
exactly
untouched at this point in the MCU.
Exactly.
But she is.
But she's a mutant, and right, if they use this show to launch mutants into the MCU.
Oh god, it's the best thing ever.
It's the best thing ever. And Magneto. Right, Professor X, right, don't get me wrong, right, Xavier is a great character.
I don't know what to do! I don't know what to do!
I love both McAvoy and Patrick Stewart, though I love Patrick Stewart more.
As we established last week, Patrick Stewart would know what to do.
Patrick Stewart would know what to do.
Macav don't know what to do, wouldn't know what to do.
No, he wouldn't. But the point is, he's a good character, but he's not as interesting.
Okay, so I think that well done, Professor X is more interesting than Magneto.
I disagree.
Right?
That's fine.
Well done, Professor X is more interesting than Magneto. But that is possibly not true.
It's it's fine.
That's my opinion.
No, it's fine. Magneto, for me, when...
Doodle-doo-doo-doo.
The thing is, they get me with Magneto when they get me with Magneto when they show like the camps, the Nazis, they get me with Magneto.
Okay.
I'm then, even when he's terrible and a monster, I'm like,
he's a murdering terrorist.
Yes, but I'm I'm also Magneto for me is a great character because
Okay,
I love
right?
a character in pain, which is why I love Wanda.
Wait until Kevin Feige gets his like his what is the Podlovians? What is the name of it?
Claws sounds bad.
No. There's a character who everything he touches turns to gold.
Oh my gosh.
What's that guy called? The guy whose hands turn everything to gold.
Midas.
Midas touch. Podlovians. Judith. JJ. Wait until Kevin Feige.
I and your mother call you Judith, but no one else does.
Until Kevin Feige gets his Midas hands on Professor Xavier. And then he'll know what to do. He won't be, I don't know what to do. He'll be like, I know exactly what to do.
Will it still be McAvoy?
Yes, because Kevin Feige honours what's gone before.
He does.
Like, in a way that literally no other fucker does. Even to the extent that he gets Evan Peters to play the new version of Quicksilver. Oh,
and acknowledge he's been recast.
And probably didn't even notice this. So, there's a film called Kick-Ass.
Yes, Kick-Ass.
Right, you know the film Kick-Ass?
Yes, I know the film Kick-Ass.
Aaron Taylor Johnson, who played Quicksilver in Age of Ultron,
right,
stars alongside Evan Peters, who plays Quicksilver in the X-Men film.
Are they both in Kick-Ass?
Well, Aaron Taylor Johnson is Kick-Ass.
Oh.
Evan Peters is one of his best mates, who is sort of cheerleading him as he becomes a sort of weird superhero. And in this episode,
it's been so long since I've seen Kick-Ass. I hadn't even.
In this episode of WandaVision,
I hadn't.
Well, no, because Evan Peters looks like a child, and
like
Aaron Taylor Johnson. I keep saying Aaron Taylor Johnson. I don't know if that's his actual name. That's what his name is in my head. They are best friends at school.
Yeah, I remember the film.
And so the Tommy and/or Billy, much in the way that the ant and/or Deck. Tommy
and/or Deck.
Yeah, Tommy and/or Billy says, "Kick-Ass," and then you get a shot of Wanda going, "Kick-Ass," and it's played in the moment like she's trying to figure out where he got the language from. But both of her actor brothers, if you like,
oh my gosh,
were in the film Kick-Ass. So this is the level that this show is playing at.
This show is so good, John. I don't even know what to do with myself, right? There is so much. Like, visually, it's stunning. It is painfully beautiful.
I agree.
When Vision is busting his way out of that thing and he's falling apart, and it is so both agonizing to watch and stunningly beautiful.
I agree.
Right, they are doing something incredible with this show, and
the MCU in general. Like, there's nothing like it.
The thing is, though, right? Okay, I'm revealing myself to be like a massive WandaVision nerd right now, or not nerd, just junkie, I guess. I've always loved the MCU. I loved Iron Man and Thor, and I saw these films at the cinema. Like, we went to see the first event. Was it the
second one?
Second one. Wait, I went with the first.
The first one with Wonder in.
I went to the first Avengers movie with my first husband. Ignore that previous moment.
He's a lovely man.
No, he's not. He's a twat.
This is the internet.
He's a lovely man. But the point is, like, I have been invested in this universe, and like, we built up to watching Endgame.
Yes, we did.
And so I don't want this to come across like I have not loved this universe, because it's not true. I have loved this universe.
Everybody knows what you're building to. Speak your truth, Judith.
My truth is this. What they're doing now
is new levels of brilliance.
It is.
I agree.
It is it might. I can't. One like I just right.
She's very impressed, Podlovians. She is speechless with her impressionness.
Okay, so right, I have constantly been amazed with what the MCU do. No, not constantly. There's been moments. Ant-Man 2 is a moment.
It's quite funny when Paul Rudd's like the size of like half a door, but it's
I do agree,
the
right?
movie needs more than that.
Genuinely, right, Ant-Man 2 is a moment. But for the most part, right, the MCU, I have been a absolute fan. Loved it. Like we have, like I'm looking at like a Hulk picture on our wall right now, a 3D
There he
thingy.
is.
Yeah, like we have been MCU fans. I just feel that what they're doing right now with WandaVision makes me just so excited for what's to come. Like, I was like, okay, so yeah, Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's gonna be guys. Like,
yeah, I still don't give a fuck about Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm sure that I will,
but the
when
thing
we're
is,
talking about
that's
it.
the problem.
I'll be
right?
like, oh my god, this is the best thing
That's
that's ever
the
happened.
thing. I was like, okay, Falcon and Winter Soldier, yeah, I get it. Like, it's gonna be them. I'll enjoy it because I enjoy all the MCU stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, my head is like, yeah, that'll be good. I'll enjoy that. I'll like watching that on a Friday. But now I'm like, oh my god, what is Falcon and Winter Soldier going to be? Because WandaVision has blown my mind.
Yeah.
I just have no words to say about how everything. We have just talked about this episode for probably 6 hours by now. And I still don't feel like we have touched on everything that we should have talked about. We haven't.
Everything. And we're about an hour and a half, and we have not touched on everything.
Oh my god! Shall I do a roundup, finish off thing?
Maybe.
Thank you very much for listening to episode 6 of our WandaVision podcast. We've probably missed loads of plot points out. So if you really are cross that we missed something out, come and talk to us. All the links to our social medias are in the description below this podcast. And you can come chat to us. Tell us what we missed and what you think, because there is so much that we could have missed and so much we've included that, you might disagree on or agree on, or just tell us what you think, because we love to know. Honestly, I love chatting WandaVision on the Twitters, is where I normally talk WandaVision.
Right. And also, I would say that there is so much misery in the world that WandaVision is giving us something nice to talk about. So come and talk about WandaVision to us, or to anybody else. I'm not just trying to make this about us and growing our blah blah blah. The point is,
come and talk to us about WandaVision, because WandaVision brings joy and excitement, and it's so nice to have something to talk about in this world that is so fabulous. And as storytellers and writers, it's something that is so inspiring and so exciting. And yeah, come find us. As I say, all the links are in the description below. You can find links to our social medias and our websites. Most of our WandaVision chats on Twitter, so come find us there. And yeah, WandaVision comes out on a Friday. We record on a Friday night. Tonight is Friday night. Then it gets edited and released for the Saturday. And yeah, come find us. We'll be there.
Also, I really need to revamp the music for this.
Oh my gosh, yeah, because the music was written for when
I wrote the music for this podcast when
it was Bewitched style. Now it's Malcolm in the Middle.
When it was the Dick Van Dyke.
Oh yeah.
Whatever the fuck. And I've got my music, which you're about to hear, Podlevians, is like doon 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 doon.
But that's when it was 50s.
We're all bopping synths and basses now.
Yeah, we probably need an updated.
Sorry about that, Podlevian Chiefs.
But how are you going to? Are you going to do a noughties?
I don't know. I don't have a lot of time.
I know. I say leave it.
I will leave it.
Just leave it. Just let it
I'll
be.
do a new one for the Winter Soldier Falcon show.
Bopping
and-
show.
Bopping?
I thought you said Winter Soldier bopping
No,
show.
Winter Soldier Falcon show.
I was like, I thought you were like the bopping theme for
The
that.
bopping soldier. No, the Winter Soldier and the Falcon. I'll do a new one for that.
Alright,
It'll
that's cool.
probably be very tense and sort of political and dun, 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 dun,
Yeah. I'm fascinated. Anyway, yeah, thank you for listening, and we will be back again next week.
God bless you.
And find us on Facebook, Twitters, Instagrams, and if you subscribe to sirenstories.co.uk, you will be in with a chance of winning free merch, books, stuff every month.
One gubbin per month,
One
as we have
gubbin.
established.
Yep, you win a gubbin per... Well, you don't necessarily win, but someone wins a gubbin.
Someone wins one gubbin.
One gubbin. So thank you very much, and see you
How many
next week.
gubbins do you have now?
Shut up,
Podlovian?
John. Shut up.
What's that? Zero gubbins. Then subscribe to, what is it?
Siren Stories.
Sirenstories.co.uk for
Bye.
one gubbin.
Shut up, John. Bye, Podlovians.
So long and farewell. Chili con carne.